Stop! You're not getting anywhere with this, von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
Huh, that's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling it at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened the shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Borchert! Von Borchert! Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me.
Please, be my guest, Mother.
Well done, Louis. You reacted perfectly.
How do you feel, Mother?
Couldn't be better. He's alive, so I can question him after we get back. Pity he's just a middleman. Means I haven't finished with this case.
Oh, I had a feeling you'd be running off on one of your adventures again, Mother. You know what? I'm warning you. This time, I'm coming with you.
No, even though you impress me more and more, I have to do this on my own.
Mother, you're no spring chicken anymore.
Come on, let's go home. And don't forget to send our men to tend to von Borchert.
Well done, Mother. You just had to pick up Von Burchard's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island. The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think about it.
Contrary to what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Holm, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Lord Mortimer asked me to join him. We have some business to take care of.
Oh, how mysterious. You adapt quickly, my son. You get along here like a fish in water. Would you believe that we are all here hoping to solve our personal issues? You'll see.
Right. I doubt that you came here to look for your mother, Your Eminence.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
That's right. Until now, I've never been invited by Lord Mortimer.
You'll see. You won't soon forget it.
Given what I've seen so far, I wish I'd been passed over.
Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Ah!
Are you all right?
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So?
Okay, it's done.
Did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No! You can run if you want to, Sarah, but you will pay Medusa.
You.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you just go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sure. Yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly. Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
I have been involved in all sorts of unsolved cases. Have you ever heard of the Abbey of Hexham?
Vaguely.
An ingenious scam involving mass manipulation on a scale never seen before.
There was a cavern under the abbey, wasn't there?
Exactly. The wind would blow in through spouts, creating a terrifying howling sound. So, to stop the howling, the priests called for offerings from the peasants.
And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling. A perfect trick to fool simple souls.
Admit it, Duchess. That story kept you in suspense, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I'm delighted to find out that you were the young and brilliant French investigator.
For someone who only remembers the case vaguely, your memories are very clear.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
How could I forget a woman such as yourself?
A woman such as me? What a sweet talker you are. Remind me of how we met?
Emily, it hurts me that you could doubt my sincerity. I thought we'd gotten over that stage by now.
Don't take it like that, Louis. I was only joking. I thought you were making fun of me.
I thought you were someone I could trust. I'm hurt to see that you're still at this stage of testing me, Duchess.
Listen, Louis, I am sorry. I really didn't want to hurt you. Forget what I just said. It was clumsy of me.
If you say so. Let's go with that, then. Didn't see me, didn't know me. Push any harder and I'll make a fool of myself.
Right, time to go to the manor.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me? Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart. Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richet.
Monsieur de Richet. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
I have an appointment with Lord Mortimer. Would you be so kind as to lead me to him?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot. I don't know exactly where my master is. But rest assured, sir, everyone is waiting for you at the manor. Sir Holm insists on welcoming you in person. Since your mother went missing, everyone has been concerned about finding her.
Who is Sir Holm?
A close friend of Lord Mortimer's. Please, rest assured, sir, it won't take us long to find your revered mother. Indeed, we are searching the quays again because lights were seen at the wharf just last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Did anyone see anything else?
Unfortunately not, sir. Only lights were seen by servants of the manor, sir. And as I was saying, sir, all the guests were asleep, and no one seems to have noticed anything at all. We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials S.D.R. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here.
Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Pass me the handkerchief.
But sir, my orders were to give it to my master.
Are you refusing to give me my own mother's personal belongings? Even though she was greatly looking forward to meeting your master, she's gone missing. And you seem incapable of finding her.
Oh, but sir, please.
And to top it all off, you refuse to give me the handkerchief that she so often let me use? Do I deserve such little consideration in your eyes? Is that what you wish me to report to your master?
No, certainly not, sir. Please forgive me, sir. I have been such an idiot. Here you are.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf? Latin inscription. Annesis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur. You don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree. The barrel's been broken for quite some time. A wooden floorboard. Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed. Hey, there's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest. Somebody replaced it recently. It looks like it's fixed pretty solidly in place. It's going to be tough to rip it out of here. Shit! It's not coming up. I'll never manage it barehanded. I need something to lever it with. Sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. That does it. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book and also a bag. The Mysterium Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud, what's happened to you, Mother? Let's look inside the bag. A little food, a few toiletries, a small key, and some kind of black powder. Some fruit, a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. The bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days. And if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days. Shit, those are definitely my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap, some oils, and her powder puff. But what does all this mean? An iron key completely rusted. You never know. It might be useful. I hope Mother wasn't counting on it. The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder. Right. Just in case, I'll take it all. I'll give it back to Mother when I see her. For crying out loud. Why did you hide supplies in the middle of nowhere, Mother? I don't know what's going on here, but you obviously feel like you're in danger. Never get it open barehanded. There we are. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. A fragment of amber. This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. The powder's wet. Not surprising, given the dampness of the dog. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear Mother, and quickly too. How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop? Impressive.
Ah, my son, I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance.
Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow, then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
Only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is commendable. But as we work together on a daily basis, it is surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Be it Mother or myself, our motto has always been discretion in all things, and to promise to never betray a word of honor. Was your secret safe with Mother? It will be even more so with me.
You have convinced me. The mystery with which your mother manages her business proves that she carries your motto close to her heart. Your words seem sincere, my son.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Look, you seem hesitant. The simplest thing to do is just to give it to her when you see her. After all, it's not that urgent.
Yes. Yes, it's urgent. What if we don't find each other here on the island?
Though I don't know yet when I'll be leaving. I might not be staying for very long. What to do? Can you see a solution?
Come on. Just give me the letter for crying out loud.
I cannot run the risk alone. I am going to trust you. You seem like an honest man.
Bingo.
Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur de Riche. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains. Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny. Saturn devouring his sun. Good God, how awful. Everything in this painting is disturbing. It's the first time I've seen brushstrokes like this. Crucifixion of St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, out of humility. Surprising for an entrance hall. Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men. Open to Brutus's page. Caesar, stabbed by multiple blows at once, sees Brutus raise the dagger on him. Then, covering his head with his robe, he delivers himself to the arms of the conspirators. Nice family. Let's keep it. Might come in handy someday.
I congratulate you to answer your question. There is some truth to what you're saying.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piache. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Maurras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Lord Mortimer asked me to come as quickly as possible to find my mother, who seems to have disappeared during her stay here.
Ah.
I took the first boat, and here I am.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, sir. It's not your fault.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord! Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit! That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this Holm. I saw him in my vision. My vision is more important. Let's follow Holm.
I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Holm. I shall see you later.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he will recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was too. The mildness of the Mediterranean, eh? Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Holm, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you. You seem to know my mother well. Is that true?
Who does not know of her, sir? She has such a wide circle that everyone knows your mother from a distance or closer.
Everyone knows Sarah, my son.
But you only know her by her reputation.
I remember she once worked for the Crown of England and that she always honors her engagements. However, we have never been personally introduced, sadly.
Well, if I'm to believe my vision, you're not going to get along with her.
Thank you for your answers, Sir Holm, but I beg your pardon. I get the impression I know you. Have we met?
Except in my dreams, of course.
Not that I remember, young man. Perhaps you're mistaking me for another member of the Chamber of Lords. And what with the wig and the powder, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, you were definitely the one I saw threatening my mother.
I thought... Never mind. It'll come back to me. Would you allow me one last question, sir? I don't want to take up all your time.
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Sir, do you know Emily Hillsborough?
Oh, Madame la Duchess. Of course. It was I who invited her to the island. In addition to mutual business we wanted to talk about, I absolutely wanted to introduce her to Lord Mortimer.
Do you know of any link between her and my mother?
Not really, no. They may well have met at the court of King George, but I can't be sure about that.
No dispute between them, then?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And even if Duchess Hillsborough is a complex woman to understand, I honestly can't imagine her in a conflict with the famous Sara de Ricci.
No!
Elizabeth! I should have insisted that you rest in your room.
Do you want me to call someone?
Let me handle this. I'm used to this kind of thing. Miss, can you hear me?
Leave me.
It's just a dizzy spell. Don't worry. You'll be all right. Her heart rate is already becoming more stable.
Wow, poor girl's had her hands tattooed. I've seen these pinnacles before in old occult books from the end of the 12th century. I don't know what that young woman's trying to protect herself from, but she definitely takes it seriously.
I'm so sorry.
Can you tell me something about her? Who is this young lady?
Elizabeth Adams. She's come to the island for a course of treatment, to rest.
For a course of treatment?
That's right. The seer can do wonders. Are you all right, Elizabeth? Do you feel any better?
When did she arrive?
4 days ago.
Okay, my mother had already gone missing.
Are you all right, Elizabeth? You gave us quite a fright.
Take it easy, miss.
Let me... I just need to get back to my room.
Of course, my dear. Go ahead. You saw it, didn't you?
Pardon me?
Il segni della bestia.
Sorry, Your Eminence. I don't speak Italian.
Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, it's getting late. It is time for everyone to go to bed. It has been a long day.
It's all the more delicate.
I'll see what I can do, but the case I'm on at the moment might well leave me with very few opportunities. Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
The statue is impressive, and so are the paintings. Rubens, the Caravage, Guigneraud. Lord Mortimer has very good taste, and the means to express it.
Oh, I see our young sir is a connoisseur.
Yes, in my spare time. Yet, I couldn't tell you who the artist of that painting there is. I think I recognize a theme, but the style intrigues me.
Saturn devouring his son. Oh, well, you wouldn't know. The artist is none other than Lord Mortimer. I thought for a long time that the painting wasn't finished, but my old friend assured me it was. Still, there's no accounting for taste.
Not very conventional, but it sure does hold your attention.
You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence. On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room? Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Monsieur Jacques Perru. Decorum guide. Monsieur Johann van Woolner. President George Washington.
Great. Honey.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piache. Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piage's trust. What should I do? So, it really is a list of French countrymen. Piache wasn't lying.
Wow. Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Golden elixir.
Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
Duchess can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of de Richet's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
Oh, what a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late, and we have much to discuss. One last move?
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, take a seat, my friend.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
I'm coming!
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However, rest assured that we are doing all we can to resolve the case that concerns us. By the way, enclosed, you will find a key that will enable you to retrieve the personal effects your mother left behind. Yours faithfully, Lord William Mortimer. Dear Monsieur de Richet,
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
I bumped into her in the small salon before.
Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room, and perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least, I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories.
Count on me, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as long as possible. She must not return to her room.
Trust me.
According to Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I better hurry. Louis, you're straying from your objective. Monsignor, His Eminence Cardinal Piache. Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
My son. Oh, you are a godsend.
What's the matter, Your Eminence?
I believe Miss Adams may be in danger.
What do you mean?
Do you hear that? She is being manhandled in this small salon.
By whom?
I don't know exactly. A thug, a Frenchman, it seems. By the cut of his cloth, I'd say he's a member of the French Revolutionary Government. You should do something, my son.
Shit! I was supposed to make sure Adams wouldn't go back to her room.
Don't worry, Your Eminence. I'll take care of it. Probably nothing to worry about.
Do you want me to call for help?
Please don't do anything. I'm sure with a little goodwill, everything will work out fine.
Don't go and wake up the whole manor, please.
Thank you, my son. May God watch over you.
Who do you think you are?
Forgive me, sir.
If we were in France, I'd have sent you to the guillotine for what you just said.
Please, just let me go back to my room.
Hey, you! Stay out of it! This is none of your business. I'm gonna teach this little slut how to behave.
What the hell is going on?
Huh? I don't think you know who I am.
Stop. I beg you. I didn't mean to. Don't hit me, please, sir.
Shit. If I step in, Adams might just run back to her room. And if I do nothing, yes, Washington will have enough time to search, but this girl's gonna suffer. Damn it, what should I do?
You filthy whore!
I apologize. Have mercy. Please have mercy. No!
I apologize. Nah, nah, nah. Mercy, have mercy. Nah, nah, nah. Where's that smart mouth now? I'll teach you a little respect. Huh?
Look, you dumbass! Are you deaf? She said she was sorry.
Call me that again. That's what I thought. Now get out! I have to deal with this dirty slut.
Well, did you get time to search the room?
Yes, I found out many things.
Good.
Did Elizabeth give you any trouble?
Elizabeth? No.
Well, you could have mentioned she was with a raving maniac, huh?
What do you mean?
She was with a Frenchman. He was about to beat her when I arrived.
What the devil are you talking about?
I thought he was gonna kill the poor girl.
Did you intervene?
I did what was necessary to give you enough time to search her room.
Good work, my friend. I knew that I could count on you.
So tell me, did you find any information?
Oh, yes. What I found is likely to upset you.
What do you mean by that?
Elizabeth is indeed the daughter of John Adams.
Why pass her off as dead?
I found her medical file. It appears that for many years, your mother was her personal doctor. From what I read, she behaved more like a butcher than a doctor.
What are you talking about? I'm not a child. What's going on here?
John believed that his daughter was possessed. He appealed to your mother to save her, but the treatment she inflicted on the poor child... My God.
Look, stop beating around the bush. What exactly did she do to her?
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
My mother would never do something like that.
But she did. And with the blessing of the Order.
No, she wouldn't go that far. Prove it. Show me that file.
I left it in her room so as not to arouse suspicion.
My mother is not a monster.
I do not doubt that your mother meant well, but the techniques described in the file, it is pure torture.
Please, I need some time alone.
I have seen some horrors in my time, but if what is written in these damned documents is true, be brave, my boy.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms. Sir Jacques Perru, Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Your Eminence, what are you doing here?
I was worried about you, my son. How did it go with Miss Adams?
Could have been worse. Let's say that Miss Adams will remember it for a couple of days.
What? Did you not intervene?
Of course not. What did you want me to do? That thug could have snapped me in half in 2 seconds.
So, you prefer to let that fragile young lady take a beating rather than risk getting slapped around a bit yourself? Mr. Derice, your mother would not have been proud of you.
Listen, next time it happens, join me instead of hiding behind the door. If you're gonna talk big, back it up.
You should be ashamed. I will pray for your soul, my son. My son, I have another problem. I wanted to speak to you about something important. Do you still have my letter on you? The one I gave you in the hall?
Why do you ask?
I have a name to add to it.
Here it is.
Thank you, my son. Ah, I see that it's still sealed. I was right to put my trust in you, Louise. Now, give me 1 second, please. I can't imagine what would have happened if I hadn't added this name to the list. Please be sure to give this letter to Sarah the moment you see her.
You can count on it.
Have a good night.
It's me. I'm exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up. Alright, in my vision yesterday I saw that Mother had this room before me. I'd better search the room. Who knows? Maybe she left me something behind. Torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance. The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Writing material. Nothing. I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
Dear Monsieur de Richie,
Here's something will undermine my botanist's appreciation for the local climate. priest's robe, crosses. Must be Piaggi's room. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Look, very jolly. Markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage. Oh, this bookcase is well stocked. Oh, this book has been put back the wrong way round. A Voyage Around the World, the travelogue of the explorer Louis-Antoine de Bougainville. One of Mother's favorite books. What a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on here, but if you felt threatened, I'll bet you'd leave a clue, wouldn't you, Mother? Found it. A faint sign of the order, barely visible. Mother, you undoubtedly must have hidden a clue in this book. Let's see if I can find anything else in this room. Come on, Louis, think. Think. Let's recap. My mother was in this room. I found a rare edition of her favorite book. She must have left something behind. She must have used the writing materials. What if she used lemon juice instead? An old trick used to hide messages. A message using invisible ink. I bet she used a lemon to leave a message. Now, how do I reveal the message? The message is illegible. I have to keep searching. Apart from getting the book dirty, I can't see any use for this. Look, markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage. I don't see how it's technically possible for one type of ink to reveal another. It doesn't make sense. If a message is written in lemon juice, the flame will reveal it. Ah, secret writing. Many people use this method for their secret correspondences. Light the flame and the ink appears. reveals the message. Let's see what my mother wrote. Where all eyes size you up, you must pass by the Gorgon. Gorgon was the name of Medusa in Greek mythology. On the other hand, where all eyes size you up, I don't get it. And judging by the number of paintings in the manor, could be anywhere. After that, she adds, beware hero. The beast always charges the best protected soldier. And that's its weakness. What is my mother trying to tell me? Since you've gone to so much trouble, you must not have only found something important, but you must have also felt like you were in great danger. Now I'd better hurry and find that damn Medusa.
Sir, dinner is served in the red salon.
Typical.
I'm not hungry. Please give my apologies to all the guests.
Sir Holm requests your presence, sir.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait before going and looking for my Medusa.
Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Nothing. If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piache.
Let no one disturb me. I'm busy.
Too bad. I'll see him later. President George Washington. That's the door to Elizabeth's room.
For God's sakes, what happened in here?
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are absolutely snowed under by the work required to govern this new country. Please excuse us. As soon as we can get free, even if it's just for a day, I promise we shall come and see you. Your loving father, John Adams. P.S. Don't hold it against your mother. She still isn't ready. Please don't judge her. I'm sure you will be able to put all of this behind you one day. A chest with a half-circle pattern. Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. These are magnesium crystals, a fairly effective remedy for easing anxiety. Well, let's see what it tastes like.
Ugh.
I really need to stop tasting everything I find now. A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society. August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I am driven to despair and doubt there is any point in writing to you. I'm not even sure you'll receive my letters. Father controls my correspondence more and more. I am certain he filters our exchanges. Thankfully, one of the chambermaids is able to help me get my letters to you. But they still remain unanswered. I often think about you and pray every day to be able to hold you tight. We have so much time to make up. I beg you, answer me, please. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. That horrible woman came again yesterday. She spent a long time speaking with Father. I didn't understand everything because they spoke in French, but I'm sure they were talking about you. August 24th, 1792. 30 November, 1791. My dear sister, the cancellation of our reunion hit me like a stab to the heart. Father told me it was for your well-being, but I can't help but blame him. He claims that your condition has worsened and that it could be dangerous for both of us if we met. If only I knew where you were, believe me, I'd be at your side. I haven't received any news from you in a long time. Please write. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. I hope you like the enclosed talisman. August 24th, 17. Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. A chest with a half-circle pattern. An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. Feet and hands are bound. A piece of cloth in the mouth prevents the tongue from being sectioned. It looks like preparation for an exorcism. Is Elizabeth really possessed? The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness. Monsieur Johann van Volner. That must be the door to the room of the soldier I saw in my vision. The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy. My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hands. Your loving mother, Maria Letizia Bonaparte. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. My dearest son, fragment of amber. French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the High Society meeting organized for the occasion. We shall be able to continue our discussion about our project for a new order for France. I have a proposition to make to you concerning your wish to put a strong leader at the head of France. I trust you to be discreet as to your coming. See you soon. Lord William Mortimer.
Bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room, and he gets victory after victory? Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Might be better to take a different stairway. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piache. President George Washington.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault, too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
I'm sorry. I should have stopped him from beating you.
What's done is done. It was my fault, not yours.
Don't say that. It's never the victim's fault. Look at your eye.
My eye's nothing. Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you.
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No. I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
You're right. I don't want this conversation to turn into an interrogation. You've suffered enough already. I respect your silence. Please excuse me.
Well, thank you. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Your mother, for example.
You mean the woman who left me in the hands of your mother? The woman whose duty it was to give up her life to protect me? I disowned my mother when I turned 13.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned her. Don't you have a brother?
I have 3, but not one of them has bothered to help me. Charles and Thomas were kept away from me to make sure I wouldn't upset them. As for John, the only time he visited me was to make me swear to never publicly compromise his career.
Sorry, I didn't know.
You're an only son, right?
Does it show?
If you had a brother or sister, you'd know the way blood ties are unbreakable. Except in my family, unfortunately. I've got nothing more to say to you. Figure it out yourself.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
I would like to speak about your master, Lord Mortimer.
Do please excuse me, sir, but I shall make no comment about my master. Is there anything else that sir would like to know?
What can you tell me about the guests?
Do excuse me, sir, but I am bound by discretion to say nothing about Lord Mortimer's guests, sir. Perhaps sir would like to know something else?
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, sir can access, on one side, the small salon where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, sir may access the dining room. That is where sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, sir will also find access to the garden. But sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, sir should not find cause to worry. No one has ever gotten lost.
Except for my mother.
Has sir another question?
What's on the first floor?
The first floor is reserved for guests, sir. That is where sir will find his private rooms. The main corridor leads around the building. 3 stairways will enable sir to return to the ground floor. It is also from there that sir will be able to reach the second floor.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, sir?
Yes. What can I find on the second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing on the second floor are his private chambers. In the east wing are the rooms reserved for Lord Mortimer's personal guests. At the moment, these rooms are reserved for Sir Holmes, sir. But only authorized guests may access that area. Does sir have any more questions?
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help sir in any other way?
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
My good fellow, you're right. One should never mix treatments without the advice of an expert. It so happens that I usually make my own golden elixir, but I haven't brought my kit with me. Perhaps, in that case, would you fetch a spoonful of ethyl alcohol, ethereal oil, and 10 milliliters of ethanol for me? Along with that, a small quantity of gold, please. Just a few crumbs will suffice.
Ah, I see that sir knows his subject. Therefore, I see no reason why I shouldn't give them to you. I hope that will be enough for you, sir, because I haven't any more.
Thank you. That will be fine.
May I help with anything else, sir?
I still haven't quite recovered after the boat crossing. Would you have any Maltese cross, by any chance, please?
I am sorry, sir, but the Maltese cross may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against, sir, taking any.
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
No point in lying, you know. I know full well you haven't got any.
I would never think of lying, sir. I don't believe I am authorized to give it away, that is all.
Amber? Here? I'd be surprised.
Yet I assure you, sir...
No, you're pulling my leg. I don't believe you.
I wouldn't dare to joke with, sir.
Yeah, sure. You're just leading me on. I dare you to show it to me, if you really have some.
Well, then, sir, here is a piece.
Ah, right. Well, I'm impressed. Can you lend it to me for a minute?
Of course, sir. Here.
Wow, I can hardly believe it. Well, I have other questions.
Of course, sir. But, sir, I believe you haven't given me back the amber, sir.
What? What amber?
The piece I gave to sir.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You really ought to look after your things. It can't be easy to come across amber in these parts.
Well, does sir desire anything else?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir, and I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Hang on, but it's mine.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's my book. I'm telling you, it's my book.
With all due respect, sir, I hope sir will understand that I have doubts. You see, I found it in Lord Mortimer's library.
Well, there you are then. That's exactly where I left it.
I am quite put out, sir. I don't know what to say.
In that case, I suggest you say nothing and hand it over.
But
Now!
But, sir, Very well, sir. Here you are. May sir take good care of it. It is damaged.
And you've damaged it as well? Oh, bravo! Bravo.
No, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me, sir.
Say pardon.
Pardon me, sir.
Very good. There were some other things I wanted to go over with you.
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Listen, I suffer from terrible migraines, and the voyage by boat has brought on my rheumatism. So, unless you have anything else to alleviate the pain, please give me some quickly. Thank you. Oh, and the one from Bordeaux, right? I prefer it to the one from Paris.
Immediately, sir. Here, I hope sir will get well again quickly. Anything else, sir?
I still haven't quite recovered after the boat crossing. Would you have any Maltese cross, by any chance, please?
I am sorry, sir, but the Maltese cross may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against Sir taking any.
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
Oh, speak for yourself, sir. Of course.
Peru looks totally out of place here.
Yes, that's it.
He's counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
Yes.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table.
Please feel at home.
I am delighted to hear.
Volner and Piache seem to be getting along well.
Don't trouble yourself.
Surprising when you know Volner prohibited religious practices in Prussia. Renowned member of the Rose Croix Order, former Freemason, and great lover of alchemy.
Please, go ahead.
And look at Piache fawning over him. I really do have a problem digesting political protocol.
Certainly not.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
What do you think of Volner?
The Prussian king is his puppet.
I find it hard to believe the king of Prussia is so weak.
Be careful. Volner is as influential as he is dangerous.
You seem to know each other well.
We used to work together.
I see.
My friend.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Lord Mortimer has invited Napoleon along to negotiate an important commercial venture.
Nothing strange about that.
And the Golden Order is somehow involved.
What? Our order? Are you sure?
That's what I read in the letter from Mortimer to Napoleon.
This information is important. Thank you, Louis.
Not really, no.
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
That's right. Here can do wonders.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis.
I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
I've only just taken over the affair. The agreement will be considered null and void until we've gone through it together. Is that clear?
All right, you seem to know what you're doing. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
It is remarkable.
I think what France is lacking today is a truly strong leader ready to govern her. Someone who will restore her luster, who will propel her forward so once again she becomes a proud nation respected by all. A man capable of both rebuilding the country from the inside and, at the same time, developing exterior relations. Someone with a vision, I think. The right person still remains to be found.
You're right, my friend. I hear your words and I agree. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you. Lord Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France.
Monsieur Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is eminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington.
Washington is a very gifted speaker. Leave him for 5 minutes with sworn enemies and he'll convince them to be friends for life.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Alright, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Waldner. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
Well, I must admit, Your Eminence, indeed it does worry me.
I understand, but continue to have faith in Sarah. You'll see, I'm sure, that in a few days we'll all be laughing together.
That's all I hope for, Your Eminence. But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
As I haven't visited all the manor yet, I wondered if you hadn't seen a Medusa by any chance.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, La Gorgogne, the Medusa from Greek mythology. Would you have seen one in any shape or form?
Not at all, my son. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be of any use to you.
Thank you anyway, Your Eminence. I won't take up any more of your time. On that last word, then I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
Romney painted Lady Hamilton as Circe. Circe preparing wine. What better trap for Ulysses? Circe turning Ulysses' companions back into humans. Ulysses and Circe at the table. If I were you, Ulysses, I wouldn't drink the wine. This painting has caused some debate. Who did Dosi paint? Alcina the fairy or Circe the magician? A swine in a salon. That's an odd choice of decor. Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing. The lock is surrounded by a triple circle. Golden elixir. I'll keep it for later. A few pages out of an old encyclopedia. Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now? allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men. That's the least you could say. Ah, a painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical. Celia. That name means nothing to me. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples. Christ Crucified by Velázquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alcudia. Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. Ah, François Ier, Receiving the Holy Family, a painting by Raphael. A fragment of amber. The Fall of Phaeton. Another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning by his father Apollo for borrowing his chariot and losing control of it. Moral, The Company by Rembrandt. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V. I wonder why Mortimer's particularly fond of this painting. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand. The Origin of Myths, a reinterpretation of legendary creatures. Just what I need. The text is in French on the left-hand page and in Latin on the right hand. Let's find the chapter on the Medusa. Hang on. This version is significantly different from the regular one. It recounts how men have always belittled women in society. Harpies, mermaids, the chimera, the hydra, the gorgons. Ah, the section on the Medusa. While some of the heroes divert attention from the gorgon, the hero with the sword brandishes his weapon at the Medusa. Let's think. To vanquish the beast, the statues have to be lined up in a specific order. What can this shield be for? To protect its holder? Why not? But in that case, what's the lantern for? Step back and take a second, Louis. Be logical, but open-minded. Think outside the box. Nobody said a statue has to have only one use. I wonder if the lantern was to distract the Medusa. This shield can both protect the holder and also reflect the light from the lantern to distract the beast. In other words, I'll have to make an angle of 90 degrees between the lantern and the Medusa by turning the shield to face the sword. If Mortimer's the one who thought of all this stuff, then honestly, he must have a screw loose. Crazy idea, but worth a shot. Now, Louis, it's time to keep a logical mind, as every good scientist should. The aim is to defeat the Medusa, so what can the lantern be for? To light up the Medusa? Hardly likely. The hero holding the lantern will be easy prey and the shield will be of no use. To light up the sword? No, that makes no sense. So that leaves the shield. I wonder if the aim is to play with the light. If I turn the shield right, the light would be reflected. The ray of light will perturb the Medusa and focus her attention on the best protected hero. Pretty smart. But it also means I have to make sure I get the shield position just right. A painting with no name. In Greek mythology, anyone who looked into the eyes of the Medusa turned to stone. So the monster's statue must be turned towards someone who can protect their eyes. It can only be the hero holding the shield. It looks right, but nothing's happening. Maybe, in this position, the hero with the shield is just dazzling his colleague. If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. Except for here, it doesn't work. There must be something else. It looks right, but nothing's happening. Maybe, in this position, the hero with the shield is just dazzling his colleague.
For Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh yeah? So tell me what you're doing here. Yeah, just like me.
Probably, but I asked the question first.
Well then, we'll pretend you haven't asked me yet.
What about a little gallantry, Louis? Come on, I'm listening. What are you doing here?
Listen, this isn't one of Madame Scuderi's soirees. There's no room for courtesy in a place like this. I promise in any other circumstances, I would try to show a bit more spirit in my efforts to amuse you. For today, I suggest we focus on the rather obvious fact that we are both interested in spying on our host.
I congratulate you on your knowledge of fashionable soiree of the 12th century, but you have just ruined the ambiance, Louis. Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh yeah, in your dreams. At your service, madam. A golden fleece.
It's freezing. Hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug? It'll warm you up.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
The Gospel according to Judas, or How to Crucify Jesus as part of God's plan. You do realize that the contents of this book could undermine the very foundations of Christianity.
One more reason to leave it in the secret room of a lost manor on a private island.
Do you realize how important this book is?
Of course, but what I really want to know is how did it come into Mortimer's possession?
I was thinking the same thing about all the paintings and sculptures in the manor. I bet you've read them cover to cover.
Naturally.
Really? I'm curious. Tell me, what part stood out the most to you?
The passage where Mary says to Joseph, "Hey, you, shut up."
In other words, you haven't even opened one. Hey, Mortimer is the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art. The heavenly symbols refer to Pandora's box. Emily, I'm pretty sure I've got Pandora's box.
Of course you have. You see an earthen pot and you immediately assume it can only be Pandora's box. Logical. What I like about you, Louis, is that you never fail to surprise me.
Emily, what if I open the jar? Would that then make man responsible for all the evils?
Try. It'll make a change. All right, can we move on now?
I do love your irony, but honestly, are you ever impressed by anything you see?
By a chamber pot? No, you really do need to do better than that.
I found an amazing ring. There's an inscription engraved on it. You're married. Why don't you wear a wedding ring?
You mean wear something just to prove your love? Not my style.
Guess what I found?
The Holy Grail.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath. The workmanship on this crown is amazing. The finesse of the gold laurel leaves is beautiful. A crown worthy of an emperor. I'd stake my life that it's the genuine article. Do you know why laurel wreaths are used and not, say, mistletoe or another plant?
The laurel wreath symbolized glory in Roman times.
In your opinion, what kind would suit me best?
A crown of nettles.
You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
Brass quillons and knobs. A beautiful cruciform line. Judging by the wear and the technique used to forge it, this sword dates back to the Crusades, and it must have belonged to a wealthy knight. There's a date. MCXC, 1190. That's right. Forged for the Crusades.
I think it's the sword of Genghis Khan.
Brush up on your classics. Asian weapons are definitely not this shape.
All the swords forged in Asia don't necessarily have a curved blade.
Are you blind? It's a thrusting saber, a pure product of the West.
When you don't get the last word, your repartee goes all aggressive.
When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
A fragment of amber.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention.
How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
See those fine scratches around the words?
Yes, and?
The ink barely spreads on the paper. It spreads exactly the same way on the signature. The deed was written using the same ink. If it is a fake, then it's a professional job. Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
And how do you know my mother was interested in this room?
I didn't know, I just supposed she was. And you just confirmed it. So, do you think she found what she came for?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? How did Lord Mortimer get all this? It's just crazy.
Secret connections, money, or a well-kept family treasure passed on from generation to generation. Who knows?
That would mean some of Mortimer's ancestors lived before Jesus was born. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something. What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar. Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
When are you going to understand that I just want to help you?
What do you expect? That I'll fall into your arms and say yes to everything you want?
What are you talking about? I'm only asking you to trust me a little. If only on principle as a member of the Golden Order, for example.
I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese, but I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone. You have your strengths and your weaknesses. And there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
It's obvious to me that whenever anyone seriously questions you, you start to lose your footing. It's not a big deal in and of itself, but we can help each other when that happens. Together, we'll be much stronger.
My dear Louis, you're very kind, but you are completely mistaken. I have no problem whatsoever dealing with being questioned. I'm sorry to tell you, but you read me badly. I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
Oh, it's crystal clear. You don't like people telling you what to do, and you do like giving the orders to everyone.
If I were the matron you speak of, I would have found an underling to search this place, and I would be sound asleep in my bed. I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me, but I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is... Chances are, you're working with a member of the Order.
The only members of the Order other than ourselves are your mother and Mr. Washington. The former has sadly gone missing. As for the latter, I knew nothing of his arrival. Incidentally, you must have noticed how inefficiently our Order communicates internationally.
It's as obvious as it is surprising. You're my mother's hard-hitting partner.
Oh, God, do you really believe the nonsense that comes out of your mouth?
Well, a second ago I did. A little.
Sorry, Louis, your mother is not my partner. Right, time is short. You haven't convinced me. I prefer to remain discreet. Don't take it the wrong way. All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister. And if I reacted so strongly at the sight of the cameo pendant, it's because I thought it belonged to her. But it doesn't.
I understand. I won't insist.
It's time to leave.
So, what do you think of our first adventure?
must admit it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Oh, she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do? Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this.
All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Thank you. Come on, follow me. I really need to talk to you, Louis, right now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
All right. What have you got on your mind now?
You've got to listen to what I have to say while there's still time. You need to know the truth about your mother.
About my mother? What do you mean?
I saw her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night while she was hiding?
Yes, Louis, I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right? In the middle of the night. And the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you it was her.
Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away. I didn't make any noise, and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her. She's here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. Yes, I need something to calm me down.
I'll drink with you, but let's go easy on it, okay? I don't know where she gets her rot gut from, but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Whoa. The alcohol's gone to my head.
Here, the condemned's last drink.
Elizabeth, alcohol never solves anything. I'm going to stop now.
Listen up. You want to know what your mother was capable of, right? You want to know the reason why. Well, you're gonna have to follow me to the bottom of the abyss, Louis. Either drink or get out.
Man, I need to take it easy with the booze. At this rate, I won't last the night.
Let's go easy on the drinking, okay? Alcohol won't solve our problems.
Ugh, the second one isn't any easier.
So, do you want to know why she did all those things to me or not? Even if it changes the image you have of her forever?
What was she trying to cure you of then?
Of the one illness she never managed to treat me for.
No, Elizabeth. I won't follow you.
What's the matter? Little Louis's afraid to look at the true face of his mother? You know my rules. Drink up.
Come on, Elizabeth. We have to finish what we started.
I feel all dizzy.
There must have been a reason. Just tell me. Tell me what my mother treated you for.
She wanted to silence them!
What? What are you talking about? Silence what?
The voices. The voices in my head. They speak to me, Louis. They've always told me what to do. They say nasty things to me.
Elizabeth, are you saying that spirits talk to you?
You're right. Sometimes there are several voices. How did you know?
No, listen, I don't know anything. I'm just repeating what you said.
They want me. Want me just for themselves. They talk to me all the time. Yet your mother did everything to make them go away. Ever since I was little. And look at the result!
It's impossible, Mother. You spent your life trying to prove that the supernatural doesn't exist. Why punish this poor girl? Oh, shit. What has she done to you?
Uh-oh, Louis. Are you starting to believe me?
No, but
Too bad it's all been for nothing. They're still there, you know.
What do you mean? They're still talking to you?
All the time. Despite everything Sarah put me through, I still hear them. And here I am on a lost island, knowing that no one knows me. And I find myself here at the exact same time as her. You see? You understand? You sense it too. I'm going to die here. I beg you, tell me you believe me.
Elizabeth, I understand your fears, but I'm convinced there has to be a rational explanation for all of this.
It would just hurt you too much to believe me, wouldn't it?
No, but...
So difficult to get up in the morning and realize that you're the son of a monster.
I'd rather not have met you.
I'd rather not have been born.
My God, Elizabeth, how's this possible?
Welcome to my world, Lil Louie. Welcome to my life.
Elizabeth, the whole story stinks of death. If I were you, I'd have left the moment you heard me speak about my mother. I don't know if she knows you're here, but if I had any doubt, I wouldn't take the risk.
Yeah, you're right. I can't stay here another minute. I need to get the hell out of here. I need to find a boat and get away. I'm not dying here.
Oh, I feel so dizzy.
You like my little concoction, don't you? That's rare.
What?
It no longer has any effect on me, but my guests generally don't appreciate me mixing alcohol with laudanum.
What? You put laudanum in my drink?
In both. Don't worry, my little Louie. We'll sink down to the bottom together.
Oh man, I feel like puking. I really feel like shit. I gotta get back.
Don't worry, Louie. I'm here now. I'll take good care of you, and then I'll leave.
Don't touch me!
Just leave. If I get up, I'll fall.
Oh, little Louie's tired. Leave everything to me.